Hello and welcome back to video number 3. Can you believe it? Samantha's lawsuit, which we all thought was dead, is not dead. Okay, we have a lot to unpack. Let's cover this. Let's go. We're going to dive into this lawsuit again that Samantha Markle brought up against her sister, Meghan Markle. Now, we know that she sued her over comments that were made in the Oprah show and the Netflix docuseries. Meghan lied. She absolutely lied. And this is irrefutable proof. Keep in mind that the lies that she told about her sister garnered her sister stalkers, death threats, and the inability to earn a living. So here's a recap before we go forward.
No, she changed her last name back to Markle I think she was in her early 50s at that time, only when I started dating Harry. So I think that says enough.
Now here is a picture of Meghan with Samantha when she graduated from school with her diploma. And let me show you the diploma. I don't know how many years ago this was. This was quite some time ago. And as you can see, it's got her name as Samantha Markle. Okay, her last name was Markle. And the name change that Meghan Markle was talking about was a first name change. Now, if you zoom in the upper right, you'll see that this was filed December 3rd of 1997. That's way before she met Harry. And the change was her first name. She changed her name to Samantha, which is why her diploma years later says Samantha Markle. Now, Meghan said a few other things which turned out to be untrue, and she's trying to get out of the lawsuit by saying they were her opinion. Watch this.
But I grew up as an only child, which everyone who grew up around me knows. And I wished I had siblings. I would have loved to have had siblings. That's why I'm so excited to be pregnant, so that Archie has someone.
What we now know is that she did have a relationship, Meghan did, with Samantha. Samantha was there when she was growing up. It was Samantha that used to come by and pick her up every morning and drive her to school. Meghan saw Samantha at Thanksgiving, at Christmas, at all the family holidays. So for her to sit there and say, well, no, I didn't have siblings, that is a lie. Maybe she's using word semantics. Well, since I didn't have somebody from my mom and my dad, they're not considered a sibling. So anyway, without rehashing the whole thing, a court filing was put in that says, notice is given that the plaintiff, Samantha Markle, appeals to the United States Court of Appeal for the 11th Circuit from the order granting defendant Meghan Markle motion to dismiss. So essentially, she's asking the High Court to reverse the dismissal. I have to tell you that Meghan's attorneys were so sleazy. No wonder she hired them. They went into court and stood up and said, and I'm quoting what they said in court, that Meghan said that Samantha changed her name back to Markle when she started dating Harry. And Samantha's attorneys jumped up and said, excuse me, the word was only when she started dating Harry. And the judge jumped right on it. So they were leaving out words and giving false information to the judge. Part of this lawsuit also says that Meghan started a smear campaign and a deluge of distorted facts and stories complete with fake quotes about and by Samantha, and that some hatred of Samantha was encouraged through a bot network. And of course, we all know Christopher Boozy was in on that one, and he was in the Netflix docuseries. By the way, Meghan's attorneys also said that Meghan was not responsible for what Christopher Boozy said in the Netflix docuseries. She was not listed as a producer, to which Samantha Markle's attorneys jumped up and pointed out, Archwell. The truth is, since she met and became engaged to Harry, she became hostile towards the rest of the family. I think Meghan lied a lot to Harry and to the royal family. For instance, she told everybody how she went to work for that embassy and then come to find out that her uncle had to pay to get her into that. It was only 6 weeks. Apparently she couldn't pass there was some sort of test you had to take. And so she didn't invite her Uncle Mike to the wedding, who worked for the embassy, because then he might innocently reveal the fact that she never actually worked for the embassy, that it was a 5-week study program that her father paid for, and that her uncle threw in the letter of recommendation for her. So, because you know how people talk like at the wedding reception, that's why none of the family was invited to the wedding. She was worried about people talking and letting loose all the lies that she had told to Harry. And that includes, by the way, the Raglins, who also were not invited to the wedding. She turned her back on both sides of the family. So, listen, all I have to say about all of this is when you go back and look at the TIG, you see these wonderful notes she wrote her father. Her father took her to fancy restaurants, tap dances. He basically raised her. She went to private schools, but yet she wants everybody to believe her mother raised her in a black community, yeah. She's trying to rewrite her history, and she hasn't been able to. Yeah. All I can say about this whole thing is somebody who's always bleeding on about compassion and action, who can't even call her own father after 2 heart attacks and a stroke, is a role model for nobody. In an interesting twist to this case, Princess Catherine has been asked to give a statement. Now, people are going, oh, she's got cancer, leave her alone. But let me tell you something. This could actually be a way for Catherine to speak and tell her side of the story without, nobody can blame her. She's in a court of law. She gave a witness statement. So here's Catherine's chance to set the record straight. I hope she gives a statement. Also, you guys should know that this was filed before Catherine's cancer diagnosis. So you guys don't get all mad at Samantha or her attorney. All right, you guys, you know what I want. Now, don't forget that I've put a link to Finn's channel in the description box. His videos are coming out every Tuesday and Thursday. And don't forget that this Sunday and next Sunday will be the extra videos for our cruise that we took in February. For those of you who are interested, put those comments down. This is going to be good. Don't forget the like button and the subscribe button if you've donated anything to my coffee fund. Thank you so much. And as always, you guys, have a great day.